What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of the 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best gaming related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. I want to talk about Velvet Veil, which is a title, guys, that a lot of people are starting to talk about after it got leaked. And that being said, it's supposed to be a spiritual successor to Bloodborne. And we've talked on the YouTube channel about Bloodborne. You guys can check out all of that content here on the YouTube channel. And there's talks that this Velvet Veil, or the code name, is going to be a spiritual successor to Bloodborne, which is going to be very interesting if that's the case. But I want to go ahead and talk about everything that we know so far about Velvet Veil, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So guys, in an article coming to us from the folks over at Game Centric, Velvet Veil is rumored to be the spiritual successor of Bloodborne, which is a PS5 exclusive developed by From Software. Details about this game has been leaked on 4chan. 3 images for this game in development have also been leaked. These are present in the gallery. The poster also claimed that they have seen an internal gameplay trailer about 2 minutes long, and they've described it in detail. So it was an internal gameplay trailer about 2 minutes long. There were 2 people narrating the trailer. One was the little girl in the second picture, and the other narrator was an old man. The dialogue with the girl, as far as I can remember, was this: the apprentices awaken once again. But as the last night approaches, the Velvet Veil protecting us from certain demise at the risk of being punctured. Then it switches to an old man who says, "Mender of the Plains, we ask for you to make haste and save us from their murky schemes." So, very interesting to say the least, guys. The first enemy we saw was a bird-like creature made out of bones and metals and covered in leather and cloth. It was walking on a rainy alleyway at night. In the scene after that, the main character was in a forest during day. He was holding a whip and had some sort of glowing white light in his left hand. The main character sprinted towards some normal-looking human soldiers equipped with muskets. He attacked them with whip once and then quickly covered the whip with the white light in his left hand and attacked again. This time the attack caused the enemies to be lit on some sort of white flame, and they slowly eroded to flakes. So first of all, guys, when they talk about, a bird-like creature that's made out of bones and metals and covered in leather and cloth, that definitely starts to really, you start thinking about Bloodborne in a major way when you start kind of hearing about a character like that, which is very, very interesting. The character was holding a musket with a bayonet attached to it. Then what I could best describe as a griffin, but with the head of a creature that is a mix between a peacock and an eagle, landed in front of the character and started spewing the same black tar-like substance. It also had a very faint purple aura around its head. The main character dodged this with Bloodborne-style dash and blew to his musket, and his musket started growing these black vines, and then the character aimed and shot at the creature. The bullet had a black trail of smoke behind, and once it hit the creature in it, that left a small purple explosion. So, okay. First of all, guys, this sounds like Bloodborne, to say the least. Now, my question is Velvet Veil, is this really a spiritual successor, or are they kind of dubbing it as, hey, this is going to be within that same universe, but it's a code name for actually a actual Bloodborne sequel? And that would be really interesting, because Velvet Veil, I mean, obviously, guys, having spiritual successors, it does make sense in, to a certain degree. However, I feel Bloodborne has the name at this very point in time, and I feel like they should just continue that here, because this does sound very much so like a Bloodborne title through and through. And the last scene of the trailer, the main character knelt down by a tree during sunset and slowly started to extend his hand towards it, and once he touched, some sort of rift opened, and inside it, the old dusty mansion from the first scene was visible, and the rift swallowed the player character. So It's interesting, guys, because the poster on 4chan revealed a few more insights about this game. He expects an announcement in May or June of 2022 and expects the game to be released in 2023. Not quite sure if it is a spiritual successor to Bloodborne. However, OP has said that the game has the Bloodborne dash and is at least a spiritual sequel Bloodborne in terms of combat. So, okay. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this, guys. I believe that this is a Bloodborne sequel. Now, could it be, Bloodborne Velvet Veil as obviously it's the main title is Bloodborne, but could Velvet Veil be in the title in some way, shape, or form? It definitely could. But I'm going to say, guys, that this is a Bloodborne sequel, maybe a prequel, something within that universe, because this sounds very much so exactly like Bloodborne in a number of ways, guys, and I'm very excited about it. Now, obviously, it sounds like they're expecting this game to be announced in May or June of 2022. And honestly, guys, I feel like that might actually be a pretty good, metric to go by. I would say probably later in 2022, we will be getting an announcement for this game. And depending on what all this game encompasses, if it's just a single player story, I do think that it could release in 2023. However, if they were adding more modes like co-op modes, multiplayer modes, things of that nature, I think it may be more like 2024 or even 2025, depending on what they're all including in it. But with that being said, guys, what do you guys think about Velvet Veil at this point in time? We don't know much. We just know about some of these leaks and then, of course, speculation and the rumblings of what's going on behind the scenes. Is this an actual Bloodborne sequel, or is it going to be within that universe but being named and dubbed Velvet Veil? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Velvet Veil content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. A title I've been really excited about is Beyond Good and Evil 2, guys. This is a title that once we got that cinematic trailer and things of that nature, I was really excited about it. And with that being said, it's been a little while since we heard anything about this title. Is it still a game that's coming out, or are there, obviously some issues behind the scenes like creative differences? Is this game in a limbo state at this point? Is there, like I said, is there problems from the studio, and what is going on with Beyond Good and Evil 2? So with that being said, I want to break it down, guys, talk about what could be going on behind the scenes, and we can kind of talk about it, have a real conversation about it in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So guys, this is coming to us from an article from Kevin James Billings of Game Rant. Some members of Beyond Good and Evil 2's team do not think the game will end up releasing despite the 18-year demand for the sequel. Development problems and cancellations are a normal occurrence in the games industry, regardless of the studio, game size, or player demand. Some cancellations can come as a surprise to both the development team and players. However, there are some that can be seen coming by one or both sides. In the case of Beyond Good and Evil 2, the team at Ubisoft Montpellier reportedly falls into the latter category due to various problems plaguing the team. And so obviously, guys, there are issues behind the scenes. This could very well be in a development hell cycle, which we talk about a lot of games, and it's very unfortunate that this is one that seems to be, kind of in that category. These appear to be empty promises from Ubisoft, according to insider writer Tom Henderson, who shared some of the alleged development woes on Twitter. He said the game's primary problem in development is a lack of creative direction, which only worsened after Michael Ansel left Ubisoft Montpellier in September 2020. He added the game is facing problems on the corporate side as Beyond Good and Evil 2 allegedly doesn't fit Ubisoft's future ambitions, and the dev team senses the game will be canceled soon. Wow, guys. I mean, when you start hearing that, and you start hearing from Ubisoft themselves, like it's not going in a direction that they like, and then there's obviously a lack of creative direction, or we could very well, like I alluded to earlier, that there are creative differences between studio and publisher potentially. It's hard to say at this point in time. Reports about Ansel's direction or lack thereof, which came out following his departure, only compounded concerns about the game's possible future. The reports accuse Ansel of mismanagement, leading to a toxic workplace where burnout and depressions was becoming the norm. Managers were reportedly trying to minimize the team's interactions with Ansel, who was said to be cruel to them. Ansel denied these reports, saying the accusations were a shame and fake news. Let's just put it this way, though, guys. Obviously, we weren't behind the scenes. We don't know if Ansel was, mismanaging, if he was being cruel to people working on the project. All we do know, guys, is that we hear in the games industry a lot about crunch and about the things that, really come out that, whether you're working, excessive amounts of hours and things of that nature behind the scenes, it's definitely an issue. Should that be the reason why a game is canceled, though? Guys, I really feel that if Ansel was the problem, you remove the problem, you put someone in there that's going to have a better when it comes to management with direction and things of that nature. Maybe Ubisoft feels like it's taking too long to get the project out. It did seem like they were pretty far along in production. So, to cancel it altogether would be very unfortunate because, they've probably dumped a lot of money into this project, and just to cancel it would be an absolute travesty in my opinion. With all of these reported problems, it becomes apparent why the development team believes the game will be canceled. The reports of a toxic, overworked dev team with little to no leadership is reflective of a trend in the games industry, which has been spotlighted more over the last 2 years. Players just need to look at the reported problems which plagued BioWare and CD Projekt Red to understand what Ubisoft Montpellier is going through. Currently, guys, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in development. That being said, guys, okay. So I truly feel that Beyond Good and Evil needs to be a game that comes out. It needs to exist. I just think that this is a game that needs to come out. And do I think that they need to release it right now or with it unfinished? Absolutely not, guys. I'm saying, though, that I think that, some of these things, if you have an issue from, a creative perspective, or you have an issue as far as from a team perspective, you need to remove that bad apple or that bad batch and end up implementing people there that are going to move the game forward. Obviously, guys, it sounds like it was a toxic, overworked dev team, and that's never a good thing. Now, obviously, it's hard to say. We really don't get to see behind the curtain and see exactly what's going on behind the scenes, but this is a really unfortunate ordeal. This is a game I've been excited about for a while, ever since it got announced. But that being said, guys, what do you think? Do you think they're going to end up canceling this title? Do you think this is going to be a game that's going to be in a limbo state, a state of no return? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Beyond Good and Evil 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Mortal Kombat is a really special franchise, guys. Absolutely love these games. It's my favorite fighting game out there. Very easy to play, but very hard to master. And that's what I love about some of these fighting games out there. And Mortal Kombat is just one that is incredible, guys. Like, just a cult classic. And they continue to make these games. And so I want to talk in this segment of the show about Mortal Kombat 12 in particular, because we may have gotten our first leak that came out, guys. And I'm really excited about this because Mortal Kombat 12, coming off of Mortal Kombat 11, which I believe was the best Mortal Kombat ever made, we get Mortal Kombat 12, and I'm excited to see what they do here. So let's get into it. So, guys, in an article coming to us from Jenny Zhang of GameSpot, in the age of internet sleuths and fervid fans, it's a risk to leave files up on your screen when snapping a social media pic, hence why people are speculating that NetherRealm's producer Jonathan Anderson intentionally leaked the existence of Mortal Kombat 12 through a now deleted photo on Twitter. So according to VentureBee journalist Jeff Grubb's Grub Snacks Selects Episode 8, NetherRealm is likely to be currently working on MK12 since Warner Brothers doesn't want the studio on licensed titles in case NetherRealm gets sold. So with that being said, guys, this image was released, top right hand corner. You can see it also just financially makes sense for NetherRealm to make another Mortal Kombat title. Mortal Kombat 11 sold over 12 million copies as of July 2021, and it's clear MK fans want more, especially since they took the time to inspect Anderson's photo and zoom in on the tiny text on the computer. If you haven't experienced MK11 yet, it's available on January's PlayStation Now roster of games and also Xbox Game Pass. In Mortal Kombat adaptation news, Jeremy Slater, who's doing Moon Knight, has been tapped to write the Mortal Kombat film sequel. Other information like directors and which actors are returning or are making a new appearance is not available yet. But if we look at the picture, guys, obviously he's got a file open that's showing MK12. I mean, it's clear as day that that's what he's working on, something that is MK12. So Mortal Kombat 12, it pretty much makes sense. And I'm feeling like he did kind of leak this on purpose. Now, he deleted it, but I think he was just trying to tease everyone that, hey, it's coming at some point or another. You are going to be getting a Mortal Kombat 12. So where is Mortal Kombat 12 at this point, guys? I think it's in development at this point. It only makes sense. Mortal Kombat 11 did very well, and I think that it just makes sense to make another one with the second movie for Mortal Kombat being greenlit as well. It's pretty much a no-brainer that you would make another game, one of the greatest fighting games of all time. I'm super excited about it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about Mortal Kombat 12. Where is it? Is it coming at some point? Or do you think this was something that we're looking too much into? Let me know what you guys think. And for more Mortal Kombat 12 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. There's been a lot of rumors and speculation about what the next Call of Duty is going to look like and what the next number of Call of Duties are going to be in the franchise. And I want to talk in this segment of the show, guys, about Infinite Warfare 2. This is something that some people are talking about being a potential possibility as something that should be made in the Call of Duty universe going back to the jetpack era, which I've said many times on the YouTube channel, I believe was the dark ages of Call of Duty. That being said, though, I'm seeing a similar trajectory to back when the jetpack era was introduced. Lots of people wanted change. And I get that same feeling with Call of Duty Vanguard, and we kind of compare that to Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghosts was a game that comes out, and obviously it was really suffered from new gen and old gen consoles, as for one, because a lot of kind of split the community between the new gen and old gen consoles. But number two was a lot of people wanted to move in a different direction. And boy, did Activision move in a different direction when the following year comes out Advanced Warfare, and then we started the jetpack era, which I have said, guys, many times, that I felt like that one title being, Advanced Warfare, I thought it was pretty cool. It was neat that they went in that direction, but I didn't want them to continue that trajectory. Do it for one game and then go back to boots on the ground. But no, they came out with Black Ops 3, which was jetpacks as well as Infinite Warfare. And now I'm seeing, guys, after we got out of the jetpack era, boots on the ground for a number of years now, and now a lot of people are talking about, hey, we want jetpacks back. So Infinite Warfare, is this a possibility to have a sequel? Let's talk about it. Guys, in an article coming to us from Tyler Fisher of Comic Book Gaming, will Activision and Infinity Ward ever make Call of Duty Infinite Warfare 2? Well, according to one former developer, never. So Call of Duty Infinite Warfare has to be one of the least liked Call of Duty games ever. As you may remember, at the time it was revealed, its trailer was the most disliked gaming video on YouTube ever. So that said, the game still sold really well, just like all Call of Duty games do. As a result, it's not obvious whether Activision and Infinity Ward would ever be willing to revisit this specific subseries with a sequel. And that's the thing, guys, is that obviously everybody, I think Advanced Warfare was well received because it was different. But a lot of people ended up going back to the older CODs because they just didn't like the jetpacks after a while, jumping like 20 feet in the air. And then Black Ops 3 comes out, and it's a little bit more toned down as far as how high you can jump and things of that nature. But it really felt more like Titanfall than it felt like Call of Duty. Then you got Infinite Warfare, which the color palette to really everything. I actually liked Infinite Warfare, had things I liked more about it than Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 had better color variations and things of that nature in the weapons, and Treyarch does a really good job when it comes to just the overarching multiplayer experience. Infinite Warfare just failed in a lot of different ways, even from customization issues and things of that nature. Those were things that I didn't like about Infinite Warfare, but I know some people did like Infinite Warfare. So is this something that could happen in the foreseeable future, guys? Well, however, while it may not be obvious to the rest of us, to the former creative strategist at Infinity War, Robert Bowling, who is now with EA, Infinite Warfare 2 will never happen. He says, "You will never get Infinite Warfare 2. Robert Bowling said this February 4th of 2019. Whatever the case, following Bowling's tweet, many hardcore fans of the series jumped in to share their opinion of the news and Infinite Warfare. And a lot of people did chime in, guys, but so, I mean, when you look at some of these tweets, guys, some people really enjoyed, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Others, I think overall, most people did not enjoy Infinite Warfare, but there were people that did enjoy it, to say the least. I mean, some people are calling it their favorite COD, which I don't know how you can really say that. Seriously, I mean, not that it wasn't fun. I mean, it's just one of those things where it really felt like we went away from what Call of Duty was all about. That grittiness, boots on the ground feel. The marketing of Infinite Warfare I thought was pretty good, but I just think that at that point in time, guys, people were sick and tired of jetpacks. They were ready to go back to boots on the ground, and that is why that title comes out the same year as Battlefield 1, and so many people from COD moved over to Battlefield 1 because we wanted to go back to the boots on the ground, and they really showed that by moving over to that game and not really playing Infinite Warfare for as much as long as it should have been. And I even feel like Infinite Warfare wasn't even supported that well after launch, even though it sold well, guys. Infinite Warfare to me was a game that I felt like they could have gone into a new direction. I feel like, sure, they could have, kept it as is without the jetpacks, and I think it would have been such a better experience. I could really imagine Infinite Warfare being like this really great experience if it was just boots on the ground. The maps were very kind of similar in a number of ways, and there wasn't a lot of variation in my opinion, but some of the game modes were really cool, and I just feel like it was just a missed opportunity. I felt like Advanced Warfare should have been the only jetpack title. I think Black Ops 3 would have been a lot better without jetpacks, and Infinite Warfare I think certainly would have been a lot better without jetpacks. If they brought Infinite Warfare 2 back, guys, I feel like they would definitely have jetpacks, right? I don't think that they would go away from jetpacks, even though I'm saying that I think it would have been a lot better without them. I feel at this point in time, Modern Warfare and Black Ops are the two biggest sub-series for Call of Duty. So it feels like to me that Activision is probably going to go in this direction where they're just going to kind of go back and forth between those two titles. Infinite Warfare 2, even maybe an Advanced Warfare 2, it's hard to say that they would ever go back to those, but you can never say never. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think we'll ever see an Infinite Warfare 2 at any point in the future? Let me know. And for more Infinite Warfare content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. So I've been asked the question, since I've been playing Rainbow Six Extraction, if there's some ways that, people have been asking me if there's been some ways in which I've noticed that you can rank up faster in Rainbow Six Extraction. And guys, in my experience, which I haven't played a ton of Rainbow Six Extraction, but there's a couple of tips I'll give you that I think have really helped me rank up a little bit quicker than maybe what some people are trying to do on their own. And one of those, guys, is going to be doing all of the objectives every time, guys, that you go and you're entering into to play and logging in. Once you get wherever it is, whether you're in New York City or in San Francisco, wherever it is that you're dropping into, doing all of those current objectives are going to give you XP for each of them. So obviously that is going to give you the most XP. Now, sure, it's kind of tough in that situation, especially if you just are jumping in like I do, and I'm not really necessarily playing with friends. I'm just playing with just random people across the world. Sometimes those other individuals aren't very good, and so you'll end up, getting put into a pretty difficult situation sometimes if they're going down a lot or they're dying and you have to rescue them and obviously extract earlier than what you want to. But the big thing is that you don't all three want to die. That is huge because then you're not going to be getting as much XP, and that's just really going to hurt you in the long run. You're going to be losing operators that you can't utilize. So my suggestion would be to do all of the objectives if you can, and you're going to get XP for each of those. But I would say that obviously, extracting at the end of the day is going to give you the most amount of XP after doing certain objectives. Even if you don't do all of them, you want to be able to extract after doing some of that progress throughout the course of that journey. Now, the other thing for me, guys, that's helped me is using different operators, ranking up all of the different operators. Sometimes people find an operator that they really like to use and they only use that one operator. I like to switch it up between different operators and rank up each operator, and that seems to really help grow your XP and your XP boosting when it comes to that, just based on using different operators, and they're each ranking up and you're getting, different, the progression that is there definitely seems to go a really long way. Obviously, guys, the third big thing for me is just putting a sheer amount of time into the game, getting better at the game. I would recommend playing with your friends, not maybe going the route that I do, which is I just play with random people out there. Playing with friends is definitely going to give you a really good time, but it's also you'll end up putting a lot of time into it, just because it's a really fun game, guys, to say the least. It's an exciting game, and really it's just going to show the sheer amount of time that you're putting in. You're going to be getting XP as you go. I do feel, though, that there's a level of, even though if you get to the, I believe it's rank 4, and then you can move on to San Francisco from New York City, I think that sticking with New York City and ranking up, since it's a little bit of some easier maps, I should say, not as difficult of enemies that you're going up against, I think that those are really important when it comes to just ranking up your different operators. Then once they've ranked up a decent amount, you can move over to San Francisco, and then those are going to be fresh maps that you can start playing and start ranking up as well. And your operators will already be progressed a little bit and have some upgraded gear and things of that nature. And I think that's also very, very important at the end of the day with this title. But guys, there's a number of ways that you can really rank up fast, in my opinion. I would say, like just kind of going back in what I mentioned, switching between different operators. I would say doing all of the objectives if you can, but if you can't do all of them, do as many as you can and make sure that you extract. You don't want everyone to die. That is really, really important. And those would be the biggest things that I've learned at this point, guys. And I may do another update video like this where I talk about some of the things as I've gone along that journey of playing Rainbow Six Extraction. I'm having a lot of fun playing it at this point in time, guys. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts about it. What are some ways that you've seen that you've been able to rank up your operators or just rank up faster? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And for more Rainbow Six Extraction content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. CSGO has been one of the biggest shooters in the world, guys, and I mean, there's no debate about it at this point. But with that being said, it's one of the biggest shooters that is only, obviously, on PC. And I want to talk in this segment of the show about, will we ever see a release of CSGO on consoles? Because then, obviously, the console market would love to be able to play CSGO on the consoles. And could it turn into something kind of like a Call of Duty where it's on consoles as well as PC? Could we ever see something like that happening? Let's talk about it. So, guys, in an article coming to us from Aditya Singh Rawat of AFK Gaming, why did Valve abandon the console version of CSGO? Well, so console gaming has significantly grown over the years, with many competitive shooters actively porting their game over to the platform in order to reach more players. What if Valve did the same with CSGO? How amazing would that be? Believe it or not, the fourth game in the Counter-Strike series, CSGO, was made as a result of the developers actually trying to port its predecessor Counter-Strike Source over to video game consoles like the PS3 and Xbox 360. During this process, Valve saw an opportunity to turn this port into a completely new version, which would be released on both PC and consoles. So, Obviously, guys, today the game is thriving as a PC-only title with a peak concurrent player count of more than 1 million at times. How ironic that a game which was born out of a decision to port CS Source over to console became the very thing that doomed this version of the title. So, obviously, guys, this was a title that was created actually to be put on consoles, and then what happened here? Well, the console versions of the game cannot be found today, well, at least not on the official store. Even if a user is able to get their hands on the game, it is basically an unstable version of the current CSGO with a lot of bugs, glitches, and the old unrefined versions of the map. It does not have any dedicated server support or any of the updates that PC version has received over the course of the last 8 years. And I've been very critical of Valve in a number of ways, whether we're talking CSGO, whether we're talking Left 4 Dead. I just feel that they don't really support these games as much as they should be. They're kind of like working on other things, and whether it's Half-Life Alyx, or working on games that they're trying to increase their exposure of Steam Deck, or they're trying to, kind of create more exposure around VR and things of that nature, which are all really cool things. Don't get me wrong, guys. I just feel like they aren't supporting some of their titles as much as they should be, especially for how big CSGO is. And even a title like Left 4 Dead, everyone wants a Left 4 Dead 3, and they just haven't done it, and it got Turtle Rock Studios to end up creating a spiritual successor to it. So that being said, this title, I've wanted to come onto consoles for a long time, and Valve, at the end of the day, I really don't feel good about them actually getting this ever brought to the consoles, because they're so slow when it comes to certain updates and things of that nature. I don't see them ever bringing it out on consoles, because why would they at this point? They've gotten so complacent with what they're kind of doing at this point in time. So according to Counter-Strike Wiki, the console version of CSGO has not received even a single update till to date, with Valve apparently abandoning this project by summer of 2013, according to Dust2 Map Clue, which dates back to around that time. Why Valve chose to abandon their console version remains to be a mystery to date, as they have not given any reasoning for it, while the community also seems to have clammed up and forgotten about it. So, I mean, why? Just why is all I need to know, guys. The CSGO on PS3 and Xbox 360 is just terrible at the moment, and the game has not at all been optimized for console experience. It is more or less similar to the PC version, and playing that with the controller is nothing less than a nightmare. So, obviously, guys, to date, Valve has not given a sound reason from their side for their decision. Maybe it never will. Even the community at this point has forgotten about those versions of the game, as they have plenty of other things to ask Valve about, like 120 tick dedicated servers, better anti-cheat, and most importantly, Operation 10, which was supposed to release last month. But that being said, guys, I mean, look, at the end of the day, this is why I've been very critical of Valve. I just feel like they've become so complacent in a number of different ways, and CSGO is a special title. And I've said this for a while, that I felt like CSGO, what they needed to do was create a CSGO 2, kind of continue here with updated graphics, things of that nature, and create a second, CSGO, and at that point maybe release it all onto consoles and things of that nature. I think that is a much more likely scenario than us ever getting CSGO on consoles at this point in time, guys. But let me know, what do you all think? Do you think that we'll ever see CSGO on consoles at this point in time, or updated versions of it at the least? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more CSGO content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. With the acquisition of Activision from Xbox and Microsoft in particular, guys, I want to talk about some of these titles that are coming out, specifically Call of Duty, because you guys know Call of Duty is one of my favorite titles of all time. And I want to talk specifically in this segment of the show, though, about the future of Call of Duty here. Is Call of Duty going to become an Xbox exclusive at some point, and should it? Let's talk about it. So, guys, obviously Xbox acquires Activision Blizzard, which was massive, absolutely huge. The numbers were huge. Obviously, all these titles that Activision has and Blizzard has coming to Xbox, I think it's a great thing, because obviously Activision Blizzard have had some issues over the years, and I think that's taking it lightly. So, that being said, though, Xbox now is going to hold the rights to all these games. Now, certain things are already certain contracts are already put into position. Sony, I believe they have the next, they have the rights, of course, for the next 3 years for Call of Duty to be, when Call of Duty comes out in particular, it's going to release obviously on Xbox, but it will also release on PlayStation for the next 3 titles. And after that, though, there is a lot of unknowns here. So let's talk about that in particular, guys, because Call of Duty, I've said, even though it's the best-selling game every single year, the reason being it's because, I mean, obviously Call of Duty has such a cult following, but it's not even, it's just that there's so many different ways that people can connect with Call of Duty, whether you're talking PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and that's what makes this community so awesome, is that we can connect anywhere. And then you've got Warzone, you've got all these different ways in which people are connecting to Call of Duty as a whole. There's also been talks, of course, of Call of Duty not becoming a yearly, game. I have, certain thoughts about that, but I'm not going to get so much into that because I want to talk about, could, Call of Duty become obviously an exclusive for Xbox, and is that a good thing? You guys know, for those of you who are accustomed to my YouTube channel, I'm an Xbox player. I love Xbox games. I've played the Xbox as a little kid. I've kind of stuck with it. I also have a PlayStation, so I play that as well. I've got the Xbox Series S as well as the PlayStation 5, and I also have a Nintendo Switch, and I play the Xbox primarily. I just like the interface. I like everything about it. The PlayStation 5 is awesome, guys, but the Xbox is, to me, it's just my preference. Now, to a lot of you out there, the PlayStation may be your preference, which is awesome. I think Call of Duty is such a important game in gaming that it almost has to be on all of the different consoles. So the first question is, will it become a console exclusive? I think there's a good chance it will be, guys. Now, obviously, Xbox is going to have Sony, in a pretty tight situation. Like, if Sony wants to get, to have Call of Duty, at least to be able to be released on their consoles, Xbox is going to be able to dictate the terms. So do I think that it'll be just a console exclusive? Probably not, because Sony is probably going to pay a lot of money in order to have some of those rights to at least have Call of Duty in the future on their consoles. But if they don't come to an agreement, I think Xbox very well may make Call of Duty an Xbox exclusive, which would move a lot of people from PlayStation to Xbox. There's no doubt about it. Would it be good for gaming? Would it be good for Call of Duty? I do not think it would be, guys. Xbox has never been as big as PlayStation, and PlayStation and Xbox have not been as big as Nintendo and when the Nintendo Switch and those consoles that come out. So with that being said, Call of Duty is, like I said, such an important title. It's not Gears of War. Halo is a huge game as well, a great shooter that's exclusive to Xbox, but at the same time, Call of Duty's in a different stratosphere than some of those games at this point in time. What it's built, just year over year, having such incredible titles, and some of them obviously aren't as good as others, right, in the Call of Duty series. But we get a new COD every year. It kind of keeps Call of Duty fresh. So I just feel like if you're going to say it's no longer going to be on PlayStation, it's only going to be here on Xbox, there's going to be people who get the new Xboxes, guys. There's no doubt about it. But then there's going to be some people that may move on to other games altogether. And I think that could really hurt, just from a perspective of, that PlayStation market. It could really hurt those numbers because so many people have the PlayStations, and obviously PlayStation and Call of Duty have had like a partnership for a while. And so I think it would really hurt the landscape of Call of Duty moving forward. I don't think Xbox is going to do that, but I think there's definitely a possibility. There's definitely going to be a lot of games, though, that Activision Blizzard bring over that are going to be console exclusives to Xbox. There's no debate about it, guys. There are going to be a number of exclusives to Xbox, which is going to get more and more people to buy Xboxes. We think of the Bethesda deal. Elder Scrolls will probably be exclusive to Xbox. You look at like Starfield and all these other titles that are going to be coming out now from Bethesda. I think there's a very good chance that we see those titles being exclusive to Xbox. Call of Duty, that's in a different category altogether. What they may say is, look, it's going to be on Xbox as well as PC. It will not be any longer on the PlayStation. so then people can at least play it on Xbox or on PC. But it's hard to say, guys. It's going to be a very interesting ordeal. Do I think it should happen? I don't think that they should make it exclusive to Xbox. Do I think they may do it? I think there's a good chance they may. And is that going to affect Call of Duty in a major way? It's hard to say. It depends on how they go about it, right? How they go about it with the Call of Duty League and, obviously from the esports realm into just casual players, into the campaign, multiplayer, everything that they're doing. It's going to be interesting, guys, to say the least. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Should Call of Duty be exclusive to Xbox at any point in the future, or should it be available to everyone throughout the course of time that even it'll be with Microsoft? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And for more Call of Duty content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, all I ask, guys, is that you hit that thumbs up button. That helps out the YouTube channel in a massive way. Subscribe if you're new. That'll help you to get notified every single time we have a new video that goes up on the YouTube channel. Stay positive. Just keep grinding. And as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.